Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about alienation and how it's really important to do something about it with an attorney. Um, I'm at a point now. I've read something recently that um, apparently my own kid thought I was abusive, and then putting the pieces together, and then later on, there's paperwork against me that um, she's afraid of me, and I would come after her and hurt her in some regard. Um, I love her to death. There's I would never in a million years harm her. And the fact that she actually might believe that, oh, I mean, it blows my mind, and it really angers me because if she really believes it, then she didn't get it from me being abusive and angry and hitting her, et cetera, et cetera. And the even idea that I would do anything along those lines or ever hurt her physically or intentionally or emotionally or anything is just it's just mind blowing. And so the only thing you can come up with is alienation. Now, I've had, and I'm sure you all guys have had before, where you turn around and you see your child and they don't want to see you. They're mad at you. And I had that a number of times. And you know, visitation, and it was like, okay, what did I do? Like, I don't understand. Why are you mad at me? And then, it's got to click that they've been hearing things about you. That's the only thing that ever made sense to me. So if you're sensing this kind of stuff and you believe that this kind of stuff is going on, you've got to try nipping it in the bud and doing what you can. I did some things to try to help nipping it in the bud. On the other hand, some other things I didn't do, which I should have done, which is get yourself a good lawyer and find one that'll follow you through the whole process through the years. Early on, I got further without a lawyer, so I ended up sticking with not having a lawyer, and it really burnt me in the end, because you just need to have one. You need to have one. Judges favor those with lawyers. They talk to each other, the lawyers and judges, and if there's no one, if you don't have an attorney, you don't have representation on your side to say, hey, look, no, this is really what's going on, judge, from your side of the thing with a good attorney. So you really need that throughout the years when if you're dealing with fighting to see your child and having a good relationship with your child. If you are the primary parent, don't talk bad about the other parent. Don't do that. That's a no-no. Um, I always, until I couldn't see my child anymore, really bit my tongue to not say anything, because that is not what's best for the child, is to hear, bad things. And so do that if you can. I just wanted to put together a couple pointers here. Uh, Number one, if you sense it, request from your attorney something that's called an alienation evaluation by a psychiatrist. Now, I requested this and had this ordered, and it never appeared. It never, she didn't follow the orders, and the judge never enforced his orders, just like the parenting orders. And, you know, we'll get our orders if the judge won't enforce them. Well, if you don't have an attorney, again, a good attorney, you can say, hey, judge, enforce your orders. He's not going to listen to you because you're not an attorney. At least that was my judge that I had years ago. It was throughout all of this. So, um, again, ask one of those. There are people that specialize in this and can talk to all of the parties and put together stuff. And not only to help you out, but to help the child out. Maybe point some things out to the alienating parent they don't realize they're doing. Bring in a third party. I have a buddy of mine recently that he's going through similar stuff, and the stepdad turned around and strangled and did some things to his son. Um, and he got an attorney, and I don't know, I'm going off base for this stuff, but he just get an attorney, get an evaluation. There's a third party person in there, find out what's going on. Don't just do nothing. Um, Try your best, and that's, even if it doesn't work out, um, you can look back and say, hey, I tried my best. So, um, so number two to help with this is contact. Try to have as much contact as you can. I try to see get as much as I could. And sometimes to the point where it might have come across like it was, oh, I want all the time or something. And that wasn't the case. I just wanted 50% of the time. And the biggest reason I wanted at least 50% of the time was because I could feel that I could knew something was going on along the lines of alienation, whether it be if she intended to or not, whether or not this, whatever the stepdad said, whatever it was, I could see, hi, how you doing, hon? And I was like, I want nothing to do with you, and it's like, we just hugged and everything was great a week ago. What, why? So, and I noticed that if weeks went by, if you have this, if weeks go by or a month goes by, then all of a sudden your child gets more distant, doesn't want to have anything to do with you. The only biggest way you can combat about alienation evaluation, and excuse me, because I'm like so out of it, half in the bag, because I'm on all these stupid prescription drugs for pain I've been dealing with. So, um, but anyway, yeah, the evaluation is no, talking about contact. You want to have as much contact as you can with your child, because the more you see them on a regular basis, the more they realize and see you, and they say, "Oh yeah, hey, Dad isn't such a bad guy after all." If you go, and I've gone, not by my choice, 3 months without seeing your child, and you go back to see them, then all of a sudden they want nothing to do with you. And I've seen this. You have nothing to do with you. You're a horrible person, and you're abusive and everything else. And I'm like, okay, nothing happened. What are you talking about? And it was because I was away from her for so long, and it was not. I don't know if she realizes this, but it was not because of me just not wanting to see her. It was or being abusive, or I was doing some drugs or gambling or whatever else, or drinking or what. No, it was I couldn't see her, wasn't being allowed to see her, and so you come back after 3 months, and then all of a sudden they want nothing to do with you, and you did nothing wrong. So what you need to do is make sure you have normal contact. And again, I didn't have a good attorney. That if I had a good attorney at the time, I could have just said, "Hey, look, it's been a week." A good attorney will turn around, get on the phone, and say, "Boom, we're getting to court next week." 3 months aren't going by. Why can't you see? Let's talk it out. I've said to my kid, and I hopefully you do too. This is something you should say to him: is, "Hey, if something's going on in your mind where you don't like me for whatever reason, talk to me. Talk." Um, because you know what are you thinking? If you get this upset at me again, talk to me. Communication is so important in any kind of relationship, obviously. So yeah, talk to them, have a good attorney, so that boom, you can see them the next week, not 3 months later, and say, hey, um, you get to see your child and talk to her. Say, hey, what's going on? Really, what's okay? Versus um, what are your child, boy or girl? Versus them having whatever getting thrown into their head, and like I said, to the point where it can get just ridiculous, out of control. And yeah, you got to try. And I'm not going to get in my own personal thing situation because I could get in trouble for that actually. But I'm writing this to just you guys to just turn around and say, try contacting your child, talk to them as much as you can, um, and get a good lawyer. And my buddy is spending thousands upon thousands in attorneys, but it sounds like he's in a lot better spot than I've been because he had a good attorney. So, and if you're not happy with the one you got, get another one. Don't just go by saying, "Oh, I'm going to do this myself," because in the long run, it'll bite you. It's not the way. It's not right. Um, but it's just so it is what it is. And communication. I already talked about this, but basically, as far as communication, Um, I would just try to go and have a good time, go golfing and go and do something um, to make it a fun weekend, something fun to do where I think what you should do is just sit down with your child and say, hey, what's going on? Why, what's going on? Because if you feel something's going on and they're just mad at you and you don't know why, what's going on? Talk to me. Now, it can be difficult, definitely with teenagers as they get older. Um, as any parent with teenagers know. But just just pound it home every week. I mean, just say, "Hey, what? Talk to me," because nothing's going to work without good communication. without contact, and do those things. And then, most important, I've just said it again, from my experience, get a good lawyer and don't stop looking until you find one. Um, the thing is the thing I've made a mistake of in the past, and it's easy to do, is, I sent in some response to the judge saying how upset I was, and, I'm angry because, I haven't seen my child in X amount of months and everything. And basically, that could come across as you're just angry. And then the other side could use it as, oh, see, he's just an angry person. And then things just fall apart. And, oh, no, you don't get to see your child. And you're like, whoa, what happened? And it should not be legal. That judge should be thrown in jail. I'm sorry. From years ago, from when was it? When my child was growing up years and years ago. Because he cannot just turn around and say you can't see your child without giving you a reason and just kidnapping your child, and no reason, not even what did I do wrong. It's exactly what he did. And I've talked to lawyers since, and they're like, they can't do that. Well, guess what? They do. And if you have a good lawyer, your good lawyer is going to say, look, I'm going to file paperwork against you, judge. And the judge knows he can do that. And so he won't do it. But against somebody like me, if he feels like it, he'll just do whatever the hell he wants. And figure he can probably get away with it. And it honestly, yes, it's just amazing that that kind of stuff can go on, and they can just take your child from you, not let you talk to your child and communicate with your child. And that's it for a long time, for years, and then, etc. And so, anyway, yes, you need a good lawyer so this kind of wrong, evil nonsense cannot happen in the courts. So, hopefully this little video was helpful. Kind of went on a little rant. I try not to, but anyway, if this helps you, let me know. I would like to have a little session with any of you guys that want to talk one-on-one on YouTube to talk about your situation. And again, I'm not an attorney, but I know how the court systems works after going through them. I know what you should do a little bit, what you shouldn't do. I know all the legalities as far as paperwork. I can basically be a lawyer, a paralegal at the minimum, because I know what forms to fill, and I know, a lot more than I should have to know. So I could probably help you out. So if you get in touch with me, I can hopefully help you out a little bit in your situation. Like and subscribe. I do these videos for a reason, to try to help you guys out. And yeah, let me know. Get in touch. Subscribe.